Godzilla's latest swaggering return in the concluding episode of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters' first season on Apple TV Plus not only marked the end of an era initiated by Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, but also set the stage for any Godzilla movies in the future. The series successfully delved into corporate rivalries, providing a precursor to the events in Godzilla: King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. After a banger first season, we are all eagerly anticipating for a potential second season, given the lingering questions in the series' connection to the MonsterVerse franchise. Plus, the last episode not just ended with a massive cliffhanger, it also broadened the narrative of the MonsterVerse and connected everything together. Monarch: Legacy of Monsters intricately explored the Randa family's journey in 2015, unraveling their history and connection to the enigmatic organization Monarch. Additionally, the series ventures into the 1950s in jump scenes and flashbacks, showcasing the founding of Monarch by a younger Lee Shaw, Keiko, and Bill Randa. With a few interesting kaijus in the mix, the story arc of Season 1 primarily revolved around compelling themes of family, love, and betrayal, mostly focusing on how the kaijus have affected human lives. These storylines, interwoven within a bifurcated timeline, offered potential threads that could seamlessly tie into the MonsterVerse movies, while ensuring that the series retains its individuality. While the first season has concluded with a cliffhanger, viewers are left wondering if there will be another season to provide answers. Despite the lack of any official confirmation regarding a second season, the unresolved plot points and the connection to the larger MonsterVerse universe has left us eager for more Godzilla on the small screen. Until official announcements are made, sadly, we all remain in suspense regarding Monarch: Legacy of Monsters' potential second season. But again, we can always look into what the first season ending means for the next season's setting. So without wasting another second, let's get right into it.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Why did Kong make an appearance at the end of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters Season 1? I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but this version of the Kong we saw at the end looked exactly like the Kong we see in the trailer for the new Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, and it looks like as if he is getting ready for this new film, which is hitting screens soon in about a few months. Although in the final episode of the season, Kong is simply just another Titan passing through our world. Now that Season 1 finale left everyone in a weird situation, especially Shaw, who is either dead or stuck in Axis Mundi, Kate and Kentaro meet their grandma Keiko after Kate, May, and Keiko make it to the surface world in 2017, where they are met by Hiroshi, Kentaro, and Tim, who are all accompanied by Brenda from Apex Cybernetics. So things for sure have changed a lot because Kentaro and his dad are now working with Apex Cybernetics, and this might be surprising for those who have not keenly followed the MonsterVerse, but Monarch is set in the past just after the 2014 Godzilla event. So by jumping ahead in time, we are closer in the story to the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. The rise of Apex Cybernetics will be the limelight of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters Season 2. In Season 1, we witnessed Apex Cybernetics come to fruition, and it was May's old boss Brenda who helped Tim, Kentaro, and Hiroshi to get Keiko, Kate, and May back when they got out of the Axis Mundi in the Hollow Earth. Now, of course, only Season 2 can properly explore the deal that Hiroshi, Kentaro, and Tim made because there is a 2-year-long gap that needs explaining. So only Season 2 can reveal the secrets Tim and Hiroshi brought over, what Apex did with Hiroshi's Hollow Earth map, and other science projects they worked on. Plus, Apex now has the pod Lee used to access the Hollow Earth back in 1962, hinting at the obvious fact that such pods are needed to travel through rifts in order to avoid harm from gravitational changes. So the series will probably dive into Apex's technology for mind-controlling titans, setting the stage for creating Mecha Godzilla, while exploring how new scientists like Ren Serizawa came into the mix. After having access to Hollow Earth or Axis Mundi, Apex might even begin experiments on creatures like the Ion Dragon and other titans for making their robots, which finally blow off the lid of their corporate rivalry with Monarch, who might just respond with corporate espionage, similar to how the Jurassic Park franchise had InGen, Biosyn, and Manticore in the bioengineering scene. Monarch surely won't be happy that Apex stole their top talent and used their skills to outdo them in innovation. The Randa family drama and a love triangle might just be the center point of the next season. We might just see more drama brewing in the Randa households in Season 2 of Legacy of Monsters now that Kate is here. Hiroshi again has to deal with the mess of hiding two families from each other, given that Emiko already wanted to divorce Hiroshi. Even if she encouraged him to keep in touch with Kentaro, it is possible that they are already divorced by the time Kate has gotten back to the surface world. Plus, Hiroshi had also mentioned something about wrapping up the legal work and finalizing the divorce papers in San Francisco, so maybe that is done too, but we do not really know that for sure. There is a possibility for Kate's mother to reconcile with Hiroshi because she always suspected him of having a second life, yet never confronted him. If that's really the case, I can clearly see Kentaro getting jealous because he won't seem to be very happy with the fact that Kate gets to have a complete family as compared to his mom, who sadly received the shorter end of the stick. In addition to this, we all have seen Kentaro's ex May hit it off with Kate. Of course, there have been no solid confirmation from the characters, but come on, we can all see the tension. Now, Kentaro does not really seem to be completely over May, so again, it might be another love triangle we're being set for, which might just trigger Kentaro's toxic side. Plus, Keiko is also back into this mix, and Hiroshi's meeting his mother after decades have gone by. That too, she looks exactly like how she did when he last saw her. We will probably see a lot of how mother and son reconcile, or how Keiko helps Hiroshi navigate all the bitterness he has been carrying from the repressed childhood trauma. I think Keiko will try her best to make up for all the time she has lost and help her son become a better person. Maybe we will also see her confront the family she left behind in Japan, which would finally spill the beans about Hiroshi's biological father, who was a soldier who died in World War II. I just feel that there is more to Keiko's past than we have seen, and that is why the past government kept talking about all the dirt they had on her. In Season 2, we might see Keiko's professional life take a hit, causing ripples in her personal life, just like in the 1950s when she balanced Monarch and her feelings for Lee. Dealing with the pressure, Keiko has to cope with losing Bill, who died on Skull Island while she was in the Hollow Earth. Bill sacrificed himself trying to prove the existence of Titans in Keiko's name. This situation opens the door for Keiko and Hiroshi to dig into the secrets Bill left behind and make sure the Randa legacy counts, as both of them work through their guilt and make sure that Bill's memory is honored. Is Lee Shaw coming back in Season 2? Lee has been a fascinating character, with Wyatt Russell playing the young military man in the past and his father, Kurt Russell, portraying the older Lee. By the end of Season 1, Lee sacrificed himself in the Axis Mundi to help Keiko's crew return to the surface. However, since Keiko was revived after fans thought she died in the Hollow Earth, there is a possibility that Lee could still be alive after falling off the transport sphere. So, Keiko might help Apex test their ships and go down to rescue Lee after providing valuable data for improving the vessel, which will be used 7 years later in Godzilla vs. Kong. In the process, they could also discover more monsters for testing Apex's neural technology. If Lee is rescued, it could create an intriguing dynamic with Lee and Keiko reminiscing about their romantic past, which again sets the stage for a steady team to face antagonistic titans. Plus, Lee with his experience could also lead expeditions to track down Godzilla and devise contingency plans to protect both titans and humanity. Having previously worked with Kate and her PTSD related to Godzilla, this new unified team can offer experience and wisdom to show Kate that Godzilla is not the villain she thinks he is. This also sets the stage for a nuanced arc, with Lee and Keiko guiding Kate, Kentaro, and Hiroshi in understanding the Titans, ideally shaping the pseudo-monarch that Bill had envisioned years later. On a side note, Lee's moral struggles could lead to redemption on Skull Island after discovering that Apex is experimenting on the Iwi tribe and their connections to Titans. This might just inspire Lee to lead a rebellion in order to protect them from extinction. Plus, Mechanic Kong, Toho's robotic version of Kong, could become Apex's major project on Skull Island, further explaining their interest in monitoring the ape. This sets the stage for Lee to confront Apex, vividly expressing his disapproval of mankind playing God. So, Lee and his crew engaging Apex in a civil war can explain why Monarch takes over the facility and why Eileen adopts Gia in Godzilla vs. Kong. Ultimately, Lee being the bridge for all these events makes sense, as his character anchors the series across various time periods. Now, Kurt Russell, who plays the older Lee Shaw in Monarch Legacy of Monsters, mentioned that he is willing to discuss his return if the powers that be decided on a Season 2. However, he clarified that this decision is not exactly in his hands. Despite the uncertainty, Russell expressed his satisfaction with the final shot shot of the show. Even if he somehow does not physically return, Season 2 could explore various plot points and characters beyond the mystery of Shaw's fate, because the Season 1 finale included a 2-year time jump, offering a lot of potential storylines. It leaves questions about what happened during these 2 years outside the Hollow Earth, and how characters like Kate, Randa, May, and Keiko adjusted to time lost. Plus, did Apex and Monarch strike some deal which allowed Apex to set its base in Skull Island? Because the revelation that Apex and Monarch are on Skull Island hints that Kong might take center stage in Season 2 rather than Godzilla. While Season 2 is not officially confirmed, showrunner Chris Black has only said optimistic stuff about its renewal. What is our overall verdict? If Monarch gets the green light for another season, it could continue to connect the dots between the MonsterVerse movies. It might even bridge the gap between Godzilla vs. Kong and the New Empire, or possibly deal with the aftermath of the latter if the series decides to jump ahead in time. With a Season 1 finale, we find ourselves on the other side of the corporate clash that has shaped the MonsterVerse since Apex Cybernetics entered the scene in Godzilla vs. Kong. What unfolds is a fascinating dive into the origins of Apex before the colossal clash in Godzilla vs. Kong, shedding light not only on their creation of anti-Titan marvels like Mechagodzilla, but also on their early knowledge of Titans such as the Mighty Kong. In terms of the timeline, Season 1 wraps up in 2017, 2 years before the major events in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and 7 years ahead of the colossal Godzilla vs. Kong. The finale reveals that in 2017, Apex establishes a research base in Skull Island, mirroring Monarch's setup in Godzilla vs. Kong. Do you remember how Apex wanted to tap into the Hollow Earth's energy to power Mechagodzilla perpetually? Well, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is expected to explore this narrative, capitalizing on the game-changing power source in the Hollow Earth. Plus, the conflict in the Hollow Earth is likely to intensify, with Monarch reigning on all bases as Apex's foothold remains uncertain. Given Kong dominates the Hollow Earth, tensions are likely to escalate with unfamiliar intruders in his home. Recently, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire director Adam Wingard characterized the film's antagonist Scar King as the greatest threat in the MonsterVerse, representing an upscaled manifestation of humanity's worst aspects, in contrast to Kong embodying the best. So maybe we can speculate a theory connecting Brenda's animal testing to the Hollow Earth, proposing that Scar King might actually be a product of experiments gone awry, a mere victim of animal testing or Hollow Earth experiments, which has rendered him an exceptionally haunting threat. Plus, I think if Season 1 of Monarch intends to lead up to the Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, we might just see a few known faces in the film. I love how uncertain the canvas of the MonsterVerse really is, because we never know if Season 2 will set the stage after the events of the New Empire or pick up right where it left off in Season 1. Whatever happens, I do not expect to see a new Monarch season anytime before 2025, given that the second season has not even been sanctioned yet. Anyways, what do you guys think might happen in Season 2? Let us in your theories in the comment box below.
If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button and comment below about which other movie reviews you would want to watch. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.